Welcome into the Wednesday edition of Darkness Radio. I'm your host, Tim Dennis. It is a Supernatural News Wednesday. That means one thing. We need us a co-host. So we'll get the co-host with the most, the BCB, the Big Cuddly Bear, Beer City Bruiser. Bruiser, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you, Cruiser?
Not too shabby. We have got a jam-packed show full of news, so we got to get right to it. In this edition, Bruiser, we have got some UFO stories. Believe it or not, there is a community in Japan that's looking to be the hottest UFO spot on the planet. We'll tell you about that.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear it because you don't hear Japan and UFOs usually.
That's right. That's right. An ex-minister of Canada says that the aliens and the Illuminati are real. We'll tell
are they
you.
Working together?
I think they are. Yes, they have a consortium now, and they'll be releasing a record in the fall. We'll tell you about that. A trucker, believe it or not, I believe it is in Australia. No, in Arizona. There's a difference. I know they're both arid climates, but a trucker in Arizona. I don't know why I want to keep saying Australia. I have Australia on the brain. A trucker in Arizona spots a ghost and has dash cam video of it.
Oh, nice.
Yes, we'll tell you about that. At the end of the program, boy, oh boy, do we have a story for you, a couple of different stories for you. And I'll be putting up a video that our buddy Tom sent us that is a little bit of an extra for you today in the program. You'll see it in the description of this program. There's a little bit of a link for you. An undertaker has transformed a coffin into a barbecue grill, and it's disturbing to me. I don't know. Although
I've seen that video.
Yeah, although I love barbecue, this turns my stomach. I couldn't do it.
It reminds me of a joke where we were driving to a show in Tennessee, Mrs. Bruiser and I. And she goes, "Oh, look, there's a barbecue place." I said, "Yep." And she goes, "Why would they put a cemetery next to the barbecue place?" Because there's a cemetery right next door. I go, "Where do you think they get the meat from?"
Oh.
Then I pulled into the driveway. You're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like,
it's barbecue. Hungry. You got to try. I mean, anything's good with sauce, right?
Exactly. And now they can prepare it in the coffin grill.
Yes, in the coffin grill. It doesn't even look good because I'm looking at the coffin. I mean, I'm looking at the video right now, and I can't go, woo, good stuff. Because, but I digress.
People use it for the weirdest things. I've seen them as beds. I've seen them as coffee tables. I've seen them just in people's rooms.
Yeah.
Like in the corner.
Yeah, I just can't. Let's move to our first story. UFO sightings put rural Japanese community on the intergalactic map. We go to Fukushima, where a tiny rural community in northeastern Japan, known for numerous UFO sightings, is promoting itself as a home to aliens in a bid to revitalize its local community and put itself on the intergalactic map by displaying its many pieces of UFO paraphernalia and holding events that appeal to enthusiasts. I believe this is Linamaki, once prosperous. Is that an L or an I? I think it's Linamaki. Once prosperous through silk production and weaving industries, hopes to build a new future by drawing visitors with a passion for the extraterrestrial. Residents believe they live in a UFO hotspot and speak speak of repeated appearances of unknown luminous flying objects over the past 4 decades near the conical 462-meter high Sengan-Mori Mountain. Recent headlines about airborne objects with unclear origins include a suspected Chinese spy balloon have created geopolitical tensions, but a Fukushima municipal government official said their focus is considering possible extraterrestrial life from a more romantic viewpoint. Romantic. This will be
everything in Japan is romanticized. You know that.
Oh, true. The area, formerly categorized as the town of, I believe this is an L, not an I. It could be Aino or Lino. And integrated into the city of Fukushima in 2008, has a dwindling population of some 5,000 people. Sengan-Mori which the locals speculate is a possible ancient pyramid due to its shape, and the large rock formations in its surrounds dominates the scenery. I can't tell if this is an I or an L. The font is very weird. We'll say it's an I. Visitors to Aonomaki cannot avoid having close encounters with the extraterrestrial life. See, the L and the I are the exact same, though, as far as font goes. It's a very weird font, Bruiser, that they're using for this article.
Is it kanji? Is it in kanji?
I'm not sure.
The Japanese writing?
No. I'll call it an L. We're just settling with an L here. Visitors to Lainomaki.
Over.
What's that?
Debate over. Cruiser says it's an L.
It's an L. Visitors to Lainomaki cannot avoid having close encounters with extraterrestrial life everywhere, including UFO-shaped streetlights, bus stops, flags, and even an alien statue. The UFO Eureka. It's a Eurekan. It's one of those days for me. A museum opened halfway up the mountain in 1992 to display around 3,000 books, photos, and other resources related to aliens and UFOs. Some of them donated by the famous late UFO researcher Kenichi Arai. Around 30,000 people, from in and out of the prefecture visit annually. A UFO festival in which participants dressed in alien costumes to take part in a parade and contest was held for the first time last year to mark the museum's 30th anniversary. The population of the former town peaked at approximately 9,500 in 1955, but has since almost halved. Those who remain, however, believe the future can be bright. In 2021, the International UFO Lab, which collects and disseminates UFO sighting reports to its members around the world, was established in Lainomaki on June 24th, which is also designated as World UFO Day. The date commemorates the first reported UFO sighting by U.S. civilian pilot Kenneth Arnold in the state of Washington in 1947. Any UFO believer can become a member of the organization by paying a 10,000 yen or $74 one-year membership fee. Elite members, those who sign on for 3 years at 20,000 yen or 30,000 yen, are entitled to a special T-shirt and local brewed sake. And all members can attend UFO-related events. That kind of sounds like our gig, I think.
It does. They won me over with sake.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, sake, we're in. I love sake. I don't know.
I do too. Oh, so good.
It's very good. The group said global interest in UFOs made a resurgence after the U.S. Department of Defense in 2020 released that video footage of unidentified aerial phenomena captured in 2004 and 2015. So there you go. Fukushima becoming the new UFO capital of the world, if not Japan.
Which you wouldn't think of.
No.
Japan normally you don't hear a lot about Japan in the UFO news.
Although if I may be a little bit avant-garde here, Fukushima was also the site of a nuclear disaster.
Oh, you're right. It was Hiroshima and Fukushima. You're absolutely right.
No, well, it was Nagasaki, but Fukushima had a nuclear reactor incident.
Oh, kind of like Chernobyl?
Yeah. So Fukushima could be a center where you may have some aliens checking out some activity, which would be a scar in the earth.
Because radiation goes hand in hand with UFOs.
Yeah. So there you go. They could be checking stuff out and seeing what kind of damage is being done to the earth, or they're there to make sure that no further damage is done to the earth.
Or they could be refueling. We don't know.
There you go. You never know.
I'm curious if there's been any sightings over Chernobyl, where that big disaster, or 3 Mile Island, True. Yeah. Because if we have experiences there at those two locations, that just lends to your hypothesis there that it possibly could be because of the nuclear incident.
Yeah, there you go. Let's move on. Football field-sized asteroid has a small chance to hit Earth in 2046.
Oh, no.
Yep.
Quick, launch the rocket right now to annoy it.
That's right. Knock it off course. So let's see. That's 23 years from now. I think we'll both still plan on being around by then, right?
Yeah, we'll be here.
We can shake our fists in righteous indignation at it as it hits the earth, I guess. Sure. NASA is tracking a newly discovered asteroid that may be on a collision curse with Earth. It is one of those days, Bruiser. It just is. I don't know what's going on with me. Let me see. Let me check I have this new Dexcom. I don't know if I told listeners this or not. I got this nifty new, I've told you, right?
Yep. You showed me everything the other day.
I got the thing that sticks in my belly now. It tells me what my blood sugar is. So it's part of my new, comeback, my 2023 comeback. I'm trying to take better care of myself. So
You're the $6 million Tim.
That's right. The AI has gotten a hold of me now. So now I have AI in my belly. I suppose I should play the theme, shouldn't I? But yeah, so now I'm looking at my blood sugar to make sure I'm not too high or too low. I'm just right now. So I can't blame it on that. So we're on a collision course with Earth with a asteroid. The asteroid, which they don't come up with good names with asteroids anymore. It's not Earth Killer or Star Killer or anything like that.
They could have named this after a football team.
Yeah, they could have. Yeah, like the Houston Texans. It's a complete disaster.
Yes.
Yeah, but nothing like that. No. The asteroid is named 2023 DW.
See, that's stupid. That's probably named after the year it was found and the person that found it.
Exactly.
That's stupid.
Yeah. It is the width of a football field, however. So they could have came up with a football name. They could have named it. I was going to say. Yeah, they could have named it XFL or something like that. It could have been a complete disaster, but they didn't. And it has a slight chance of crashing into Earth on Valentine's Day in 2046.
Oh, happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah, snuggle up to your lover or just your lover that night.
You know what? So this is 23 years, so I'll be 68 years old. I'm just going to look at Mrs. Bruiser and be like, I'm going to blow your world, and I'm going to time it perfectly so that when the asteroid hits the Earth, I'll be like, told you.
Fistful of Blue Chew tablets, and off you go.
I just got to time it right with that asteroid.
Girl, I'm going to rock your world. Here we go. Yep. That's about it, huh?
It's 23 years now.
23 years from now. And then what happens if that thing misses the Earth? Then she'll be like, oh my God, Bruce, I didn't know you had it in you. Well, I thought it was all ending.
I thought this was the end.
Son of a bitch in 2023 DW. Now what am I going to do with this hard on? Go point north?
I wasn't expecting to last this long.
Jesus, these pills are wonderful.
My life. That's what I meant. My life lasts this long.
Yeah, I didn't think it would last this long. I thought I'd go out with a bang. According to projections from NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, the asteroid has a 1 in 560 chance of hitting the Earth.
Oh, that's better than Powerball.
That's true. Yeah. Better than winning $5 at the Powerball.
Yeah, they better start shooting missiles at it right now.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
They annoy one missile a year. That's 23 missiles. They can move it a foot.
They could. Although, what a foot's going to do if it's going to? It's a direct hit. I don't know. It'll land in the ocean. We've been tracking the new asteroid named 2023 DW that has a very small chance of impacting Earth in 2046, is what NASA's Planetary Defense Coordination Office wrote on Twitter. Often when new objects are first discovered, it takes several weeks of data to reduce the uncertainties and adequacy, predict their orbits years into this future. If the asteroid continues on its path and it does strike Earth, it will not cause too much damage. It is currently rated a 1 on the 10-point Torino scale.
Well, thank you, Quentin.
Yeah, no, not Tarantino, Torino. Yeah. That ranks the hazard that an asteroid poses. So NASA said that an asteroid of that size is likely to cause local damage to the impact area. So maybe we might be overreacting a little bit.
I think we are. I don't think we can plan that Valentine's date I have planned.
All right, so reel back that...
Cancel my Blue Chew order for 2046.
Yeah. Maybe Mrs. Bruiser doesn't go out with a bang after all. So there you go. In this story, Bruiser...
The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
It's true. Conspiracy theorists may have consistently argued the existence of the Illuminati for centuries, but a former defense minister of Canada has claimed that the secretive group indeed runs the world from behind the scenes for a... That's what he's calling it. He's calling it the New World Order.
And it's for life.
That's right. It's for life.
Just
Brothers.
Sweet.
It's
right. Funny this story that you pulled that music because Monday marked 1 year since we lost Scott Hall.
Yeah, that's true. It's been
who was a founding member of the New World Order.
Yep. Well, not the one that Paul Hellyer is talking about. But that's right. One more for the bad guys.
We don't know. He might be a big wrestling fan and think Hulk Hogan and Kevin Nash are ruling the world behind scenes.
Maybe that's the one he thinks about. Maybe he's totally off. Maybe he thinks Eric Bischoff is the head of the Illuminati.
Maybe he thinks that everyone that's walking around with an NWO shirt on is like, see, look, there's the Illuminati. Look, they don't even hide it. Look.
They're advertising again. Despite there being no evidence to prove the existence of the Illuminati, let alone plan to execute an NWO, it says folks, I'm not bringing it into the discussion. It says it in the article. 94-year-old Canadian politician Paul Hellyer has come out saying that the organization is indeed real and powerful. So powerful, they defeated Sting and Lex Luger.
They made Hogan turn his back on his Hulkamania.
That's true.
We should probably let the non-wrestling fans know that what the New World Order is in professional wrestling is a very famous bad guy group. Well, they were cool bad guys. They made being bad cool.
Hey, they had all their T-shirts and Spencers everywhere. They had to be that cool.
I have so many NWO T-shirts because I was a huge NWO fan.
There you go. Hellyer claimed that members of the Illuminati have acquired the technology to reverse climate change, but are keeping it a secret to financially boost the petroleum industry. Oh, it all makes sense now.
Oh, yep. Going right after the gas. That's why gas prices are so high.
Well, that's why Razor Ramon's hair was so slick.
That's why Hogan was so tan and oily.
That's right. They had a fist-like control over the petroleum industry. Hellyer has become the highest-ranking government official worldwide to openly state that he believes in the existence of a secretive group that controls world affairs and economy. The members of the Illuminati range from politics, business, and the entertainment industry.
Oh, see, yep.
Along with many others, including the BWO, which is the Blue World Order, which is a smaller version of the New World Order, which currently has a chokehold on the entertainment industry. I don't know if you know that or not.
If you go to my Pro Wrestling Tees store, prowrestlingtees.com/BeerCityBruiser, you can buy a Beer World Order T-shirt.
Really?
Yeah, I have the beer. I created, Brian Malonis and I created the Beer World Order.
So there you go. So
it's the best world order out there.
It is. Yeah, taking over the world one beer at a time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. They can control all the petroleum they want. We control the beer.
And that's 44444 thirst.
Yes.
Right. Yes. In an interview on the Lazarus Effect podcast, the politician who was the Canadian defense minister in the 1960s said that many members in the Illuminati have stakes in the oil industry across the globe. He described the Illuminati as a cabal and the hidden hand in the hidden hand, by the way, goes too sweet like this. People can't see it. Yeah, but it's the Wolfpack symbol. I couldn't resist. We're only amusing ourselves right now, Bruiser, I'm assured. So the hidden hand, yes. And in lectures across the globe, he's still giving lectures at 94.
Jeez. I want him to start naming names. Drop some names there, dude. You say it's around, say, this guy's a part of the New World Order.
That's right, Minister. You start naming names. You've got a secret cabal that's actually running the world, and they've managed to keep the technology under wraps until they can cash in the trillions of oil assets that they've got. That's what Daily Star quoted Hellyer as saying. He added, and it's not going to change until the hundreds of thousands of people band together and say, look, you've got to come clean. Tell us what is going on and change your priorities to save the world for future generations instead of blowing it on wars. Hellyer is not new to conspiracy theories. He claimed that the United States government has been in contact with alien species since the 1960s. Former defense minister had also claimed that at least 4 species of aliens have visited Earth. In fact, he claims that it is aliens that have developed a free, clean energy source that can reverse climate change that has been given to us. Oh, so we're already sitting on it.
Yeah, so why don't we use it?
Because it's just easier to go through snowstorm after snowstorm. He said, I learned way back that the U.S. is in cooperation with the visitors from other planets and has developed an exotic form of energy that would allow us to make the change from fossil fuels to exotic clean energy within the 10-year deadline that I think we actually have. But nothing is being done about it, so this is not a good state of the world we've got. Certainly, they are more advanced in agriculture and medicine and many other areas. If that's true, why aren't we cooperating with them to build a better world? Collier's statements make him the highest-ranking government official in the world to claim the existence of the Illuminati.
And the oldest.
Yes, and the oldest at 94, which, you know, if you were, let's just say you're the Illuminati or you know, a member of, you could discount him and just say, well, he's just an old fool of a minister walking around and making claims he can't bake. He can't back up. He could bake.
He's an old kook.
Yeah, you could say that, but he's been making the claims for quite some time. So interesting article, that's for sure. But yeah, I also got my New World Order shots in too.
I was going to say that was full of New World Order stuff.
Yeah.
Do you think we'll ever find out if there's truly an Illuminati?
I think the people who think they know or know, and I think the people who want to deny it will never believe it. So
okay, I
think we're in that state. Although there is a US Congressman, Bruiser, that claims the government is reverse engineering alien tech, and he's actually a quite reputable one.
See, but we've heard this before because is it Bob Lazar? Is that the one that was?
Yes.
That was his job essentially, was reverse engineering alien technology.
Mm-hmm. Tennessee Congressman Tim Burchett is certainly no stranger to making out their claims about UFOs and aliens. Speaking during a recent interview with Newsweek, Burchett stated that he believed the U.S. government had recovered a craft at some point and possible beings. I think that a lot of that is, he said, I think a lot of that's being reverse engineered right now, but we just don't understand it, he said. His claims follow on from comments made back in January after the Pentagon's Office of the Director of National Intelligence, or ODNI, released its long-awaited report on UFOs. The thing is a huge cover-up for whatever reason, he said, and I just feel like America is ready. We need to know and to stop with all the shenanigans. If you were human and made the turns that have been seen in some of the footage, you would literally turn into a ketchup packet. I don't know what that means. I mean, you would be gone. It's not showing a vapor trail. It's something else, but of this world. We've been covering this thing up since the 1940s, since Roswell, or before then, I believe, he also went on to say. The only thing that I can say that I would go, I wonder if he's correct on this. It was a story that was dragged out of the news earlier this winter, and it literally sat me back on my seat. I was eating dinner and I went, there's no way that this technology exists and is not going to be swallowed up by the energy companies.
Okay.
Do you remember the story, Bruiser, about it was on, I remember watching the evening news about it, and it was the story of taking lasers and converting it to essentially light without heat or light energy.
Yes, I do remember that story.
Okay. And they talked about being able to convert it over and being able to power a single city.
Yeah.
On just this one conversion of converting a laser over to energy.
Right.
And the possibility, but they said we were 10 years away from being able to build a plant that could do this, or being able to build an apparatus that could do this, convert laser energy into fusion.
Okay.
Into fusion energy that would power an entire city. I don't believe we're 10 years away. I think you wouldn't put a press release out there that would tease this kind of technology if you're not close.
No, you would make the announcement and then within the next couple of years say we've perfected or we've broken ground on the very first facility.
Yeah. And if you're that close to doing that, powering a city with that type of power or being able to produce that much energy, then you can't be that far away from powering an engine that could get you across the universe in light years.
Yeah.
In a very short amount of time, or be able to power an engine that would allow you to break certain bonds that you could time travel.
Okay. Get you the speed that you might need to time travel.
Right. So the idea that you're reverse engineering something could be very real, but you're only leaking things in bits and pieces.
Exactly. They're not giving us the whole story.
Right.
I'm wondering if they've already used it for space travel or time travel, or
I believe it has been.
Basically some, I always called it blip travel, where you'd enter a pod, kind of like Beam Me Up, Scotty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They got some sort of technology out there where they're developing it.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe it has been. I believe that the technology's already been used, and it's been, I don't know if it's been used successfully, but I think it's been used in bits and starts and jumps. And they know now that they can do things. Even if it's been unmanned, or if it's been, I hate to use the idea that they used in the 60s, that maybe they sent animals or they sent other test subjects. But I think the technology has been used. And I think it
could also explain a couple unexplained phenomena that we've been having. Like, maybe not everything we see is alien technology. Maybe it's human technology that we reverse engineered, and we're just testing it out in an area that we can see it being tested out.
Exactly. You got it. So,
because you can launch it into space, but you don't have hands-on, this is how it's working. We're here. You can look and go, okay, we're going to see how fast we can go this mile. And that's why people always say, oh, it took off like a bolt,
Yep.
Maybe that's us testing this new technology.
And if you remember the story, the Department of Defense put the Ixnay on certain UFO videos or UAP videos and said, no more. We're not releasing any more. Well, why would you not release any more? Well, the chances are is some of this new technology that is being identified is not alien in nature at all, but it's our own ships that have these souped up engines on them that allow us to do the exact same thing that alien craft are doing.
Now, do you think it's all separate, or is this an international thing?
As far as the technology?
Yeah. Do you think, like, the United States, obviously our Department of Defense or whatever is working on theirs, then China has theirs, Russia has theirs, Africa has theirs. You know what I mean? Do they have that? Or is it a one giant thing, like a UN type thing?
I don't know if China has it. China,
they're still using balloons.
well, no, don't discount that as a reason, as them being behind. China, if you've seen any of the stories recently, China sends their scientists over here to go to school and then get internships with major defense contractors.
Yeah.
And then they go back and they get paid millions of dollars to go to work for the government. So they're up to speed, but they're not quite up to speed. So they're still a little bit behind. There's a reason why China spends millions upon millions of dollars to get into our country and figure out. That's why they have spies on the north side of our border and on the south side of our border.
Right.
And military equipment and military troops on either side of the border. They're dying to know what it is we're sitting on. They want to know what it is we're developing. We're still at the forefront of technology. We're still at the forefront of defense technology. So no, they desperately want to know. So I think they're a step behind us, or 2 steps behind us, maybe even 5 steps behind us. I don't believe Russia's at that point, although they may be a step or 2 behind China. There's too much antiquated stuff out in the field that they put out there against Ukraine. Mm-hmm. I don't believe, and truly, if they wanted to mop up Ukraine, and I'm not talking like I'm on the side of Russia here, but let's face it, tactically, you would want to save face in front of the world if you wanted to get rid of Ukraine and take it for your own.
Yeah.
And if they wanted to, they could have done this 7 months ago, 8 months ago, and save face in front of the world. But instead, they're still fighting a war over there.
Yeah.
If they had the technology, they would have taken Ukraine by now.
Okay.
And would have called it a day.
So you think we're leading the technology?
Yes.
The race, I guess you could say it.
By leaps and bounds.
Okay.
Yeah. But, and you know that because even though our Congress doesn't get along when it comes to defense spending, when that defense spending bill comes up, you better believe both sides still vote for it.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one area that neither side of the aisle touches.
Right.
And it gets spent.
Yeah.
So the fact of the matter is that we're still defending our country. And
if anybody's thinking
passed.
that we're just being conspiracy theorists, we're not. Because let's go back 20, 30 years when the B-52 bomb, not the B-50, the stealth bomber was being developed. We didn't know. We didn't know about stealth technology back then.
Mm-hmm.
And then they release it. Oh, hey, this is what we have. It's like, oh my God, this is brand new stuff. But think about it, they've been working on that for years.
Well, and now
this is just the next step in that, where they've learned to do this. Now they're putting these engines in these planes.
Yeah,
but they don't want to release it yet.
And to wrap this up in a nice little bow, and then we'll move to our break, and then we'll move on. To wrap this in a nice little bow, the U.S. government and the U.S. space agencies caught a lot of crap when they decided that they were going to privatize the space mission in general, and said, how could you put it in the hands of private people? Well, the idea was they were going to cut spending because they were getting crap from the American public, that they were putting so much into the space program when, things were going on here at home that needed to be paid for. The fact of the matter is, it got put into private hands. Things got moved along quicker as far as technology went. Mm-hmm. And technological advances got moved along quicker. Now you're in a situation where both the government and privatization are working hand in hand. And now through space missions, private space missions, things are happening faster. And that where the government is getting the benefit of private minds.
Yeah. They essentially don't have to pay for it publicly.
Yeah, all they're doing is putting public dollars into private hands, and those private hands, thank God, aren't taking advantage of it.
Right.
And are developing some amazing technology. I mean, you've got the new telescope now that's seeing things on the other end of the galaxy. Things like that. That type of technology is being advanced by both public and private minds. So
yeah,
you've got these things that are coming out of a partnership. And again, it's a system that you don't have in any other country in the world. So you do have other countries that are chomping at the bit to get a hold of that technology. So there you go. Yeah. Let's take our break here, Bruiser. When we come back, boy, we have some interesting stories coming up. A trucker in Arizona sees a ghost-like figure on a highway and has dash cam video on it. Hands everywhere. There's hands. There's severed hands, though. We've got a couple of stories about severed hands.
Ooh.
Yeah, coming up in the next half of our program. I got sent a story about zombie viruses. And
really? Okay.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. It's the headline's a little salacious, but it's not exactly what you think. We'll talk about that when we come back. And of course, we'll end the program on a little bit of an interesting note. We're going to talk time travel at the end of the program. That's coming up next. You're listening to Supernatural News on a Wednesday. It's a Cruiser and the Bruiser! And we'll talk more Supernatural News right here on the best in paranormal programming. This is Darkness Radio. Welcome back to the best in paranormal programming. This is Darkness Radio on a Supernatural News Wednesday. Tim Dennis, Beer City Bruiser, otherwise known as a Cruiser and the Bruiser, here on a Supernatural News Wednesday.
Touring soon near you.
That's right. Got a big tour coming up. If we do that, we're going to need a truck. We're going to need some semis.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we are. So in order to do that, maybe we should hire this guy out of Arizona. He seems to see ghosts.
Well, I'm thinking we do what he did. We just put dash cams in all of our trucks.
Well, yeah. Well, we can see more that way. Yeah. A trucker recorded a creepy ghost-like figure on an Arizona highway while driving alone, and he's got dash cam video of it. I'm thinking that's the answer, too, when you go to, like, Bray Road in Wisconsin.
Yes.
Put your dash cam video up, start driving, see what you see.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, the reason I like doing like a dash cam video or like recording stuff, doing an investigation is because you can go back and watch it, and your eye might be set when you're there live on this point here, but then when you go back and watch the video, you can scan and see, oh, hey, look, I didn't see this over here, and I don't know about you, but there's been many times where it's like, oh, I wish I would have turned my head to the right because this is happening over there, but I was looking over here, but I caught it on camera.
Yeah, exactly. Truck driver's dash cam video showing a mysterious figure appearing on the side of an empty road in Arizona has viewers discussing the possibility of a supernatural occurrence. William Church, a truck driver who reportedly drove down Arizona State Route 87 on Saturday, March 11th, noticed a bright glare in his dash cam, and he thinks that the flashing figure could be a ghost. That, according to Fox Television. The suspected specter, who was spotted at around 2:30 a.m. local time while Church passed the highway's 200-mile marker, which is located between Phoenix and Payson, Arizona. Church told Fox TV that there was no other cars on the road. He thinks that the translucent figure looks like a person just standing in the roadway. You can see the lines through the legs making the figure, Church continued. 6-second clip was captured on a Dexar dash cam, which is designed to record drives for security reasons. Fox News Digital reached out to Nexar for comment. Yes, it's Nexar, not Dexar. Arizona State Route 87 is a north to south highway. It was constructed in 1927 and measures approximately 272.66 miles. That's getting exact. The north end travels to State Route 264 near Second Mesa, a census-designated place in Arizona, while the south end travels to Interstate 10 near, is it Picacho? Which is an unincorporated community and census-designated place in Arizona. Many fatal car accidents have happened on the 96-year-old highway, which has reportedly led some locals to believe the road could be haunted. Valley Chevy dealers in Phoenix named State Route 87 as one of Arizona's most dangerous roads for its beeline-like route that has a lot of looping turns. A recent fatal car crash happened on Arizona State 87 near milepost 201 in early February. And according to Fox 10 in Phoenix, the two-vehicle collision resulted in the death of one person near Bush Highway, which is east of Fountain Hills, a town in Maricopa County. Fox 10 Phoenix reported that the viewers who have seen Church's video on YouTube claim that they've seen a lot of supernatural activity on Arizona's highways and in other places. They're out there, said one YouTuber commenter who wrote that on March 13th with 4 shocked face emojis. I don't think it's glare, another commenter shared. It's too centralized on one spot. Spooky, spooky. What's the end of the comment? Yep, saw it. Yeah, it does have the most definite ghostly appearance, another user wrote. That's for real, I think. Another YouTube commenter has theorized that the unknown roadside figure could be a hitchhiker, an animal, a tumbleweed, a reflected road sign, or a trick of some source of light. So I tell you what, we're going to put up 2 videos or 2 things today. We're going to put up that. I'm going to do this. Because this has got sound to it, so I'm going to take and turn it down here a little bit.
See, the person that thought it was a tumbleweeds don't reflect light.
No, tumbleweeds don't reflect light at all.
And that roadway they're talking about, if you remember back in the 90s, I believe it was, Dale Hausner was a serial killer, and that was his hunting grounds, was 85 and 10, or 87, I think it is, and 10.
Okay.
So think about it. If someone's tragically killed, of course their spirit might remain, Mm-hmm. And what he would do is he'd drive up and down with a shotgun or a 22 and just randomly shoot people.
So here, I'm going to try and send this video to you too. And not you to the band, you to Bruiser. That would be really bad if I tried to send it to you to the band. They'd be like, what are we doing getting this video?
What is this? What is this, Timmy?
I don't understand. Why am I looking at a trucker with a dash cam?
How does this help Ireland?
This doesn't help the cause at all. Sunday, bloody Sunday. Yeah, that wouldn't make any sense at all, would it? But yeah, this, let me see if I can, I don't know, the post is being odd about playing this for me. Here, let's see if I can play it again. I know this doesn't make great radio at all, but I'm not getting it to play for me. But let's see if Bruiser can take a look at it while we're talking here. Let's see. Let's try and pull it up and see if we can see. Well, they're playing 42 seconds of it, which could be quite boring, but we'll describe it for you. That he's driving along, and then you see on the right-hand side as he's approaching, it's just kind of like, it's hard to see. It's like a luminous little deal there on the right-hand side, Bruiser. To me, it's not really, and I'm blowing it up here so I can see it. It's just kind of a ball of light.
Okay.
And it looks like it may possibly have legs. But it's really kind of nondescript. And I blew it up pretty big. So And he
said there was no cars passing him. So
no, and it's on the right-hand side of the road. So
yeah, and there's no street lights. I believe it's this desert.
Yeah. It's hard for me to tell, but it is quite luminous, and there's distinct black and white on this dash cam. It's pretty high quality.
Right.
Yeah. So we'll post it for you to look at too, so you can check out the video. Interesting though. It's very interesting. But we'll let you check it out for yourself, so you can guess for yourself, and you can tell us what you think. So there you go. Let's move on. A human hand was found by a New York City dog walker, and it belonged to a woman who was buried a mile away.
They buried everything but her hand. Yikes.
Well, you would think, but there's some interesting theories here, Bruiser, and I want you to weigh in on this.
Okay.
A human hand found by a man walking his dog on Staten Island last week was identified as that of a woman who was buried nearby, this according to police. The body part, which was discovered at Amboy Road and Cunningham Road on Thursday afternoon, belonged to a 63-year-old woman who died in 2011.
Oh.
Yeah, this is not a fresh body.
No, this is an old rotted hand then.
Yeah. The deceased woman, who has not publicly been named, was buried in a wooden coffin at Resurrection Cemetery, a Catholic burial ground on Staten Island's South Shore, just over a mile from where her digits were found. The hand was believed to have been dislodged sometime around February 27th, when the plot next to the woman's resting place was excavated for a new burial. The equipment likely separated the hand from the woman's remains, and it was subsequently lost in the excess soil dumped in a nearby tree line.
I can see that.
Okay. In a statement to SILive.com, a spokesperson for the cemetery said the remains would be respectfully reinterred. Well, at this point, we do not know what transpired. We take this matter with great seriousness and will conduct an investigation as well as cooperate in any investigation that the civil authorities might undertake, the statement read. We extend to the affected family our deep and prayerful regret for the sorrow that this has undoubtedly caused them. There was some interesting conjecture as to how this hand got over there. At one point, I was reading different stories. Someone suggested that this hand crawled itself away.
Thing?
Yeah, and got a mile away. Other people said no, it was probably dragged away by a dog, which is probably the right answer.
Yeah, I can see it being dislodged and then an animal picking it up and carrying it. Another many animals just doing whatever till this dog found it.
Yeah, there were a few Cousin It jokes. I mean, there was some other things, but how disturbing to find a hand.
Yeah.
A mile away from a gravesite. That's just disturbing. Now, there was another hand that was found. It's Hand Week here at Darkness Radio on Supernatural News. Another suspected human hand was found in a Florida canal, but there's a twist.
What's the twist?
I'll tell you in a second. Sheriff's deputies summoned to a canal on a report of a suspected human hand in the water were able to recover the object, but they discovered it had once belonged to a mannequin.
Ah, okay.
Surprise! The Lee County Sheriff's Office said deputies responded to what some anglers, and I believe it's Matlacha, I'm not familiar with that area of Florida, reported spotting what appeared to be a human hand at the bottom of a 3-foot deep canal. Deputies responded and observed the object, making attempts to retrieve it from the dock, the sheriff's office said in a Facebook post. Sheriff Corporal Jay Brett secured the use of a mini barge and was able to retrieve the item, which turned out to be a discarded mannequin hand.
Hey, what are you doing? Fishing for hands. What are you doing?
They went on to say in the post, are you ready for this, Bruiser?
Yeah.
I don't know that this is an appropriate comment by the police department, but they went on to say, we are ready for every matter at hand.
It's just the police out there lending a helping hand.
Yeah, it's...
they're getting a hand up in the community.
Every dad joke you could imagine was used here.
Hey, don't say they don't give handouts.
If you need any help, call the police. They're always willing to lend a helping hand.
Is that what you call a self high five?
So there you go. That's the part of the show where everybody tunes out.
Yep. Yeah. Because of these hand-me-down jokes.
Yeah. Let's move on, shall we?
Yes.
Scientists have revived a zombie virus. This is the most emailed story to me this week. They've revived a zombie virus that spent 48,500 years frozen in permafrost. Here's the problem, though, folks.
Why would we do that? Just leave it.
It's not really a zombie virus.
Okay.
I'll explain to you why it's not a zombie. Warmer temperatures in the Arctic are thawing the region's permafrost, a frozen layer of soil beneath the ground, and potentially stirring viruses that, after lying dormant for tens of thousands of years, could endanger animal and human health. While a pandemic unleashed by a disease from the distant past sounds like the plot of a sci-fi movie, scientists warn that the risks, though low, are underappreciated. Again, the risks, though low, are underappreciated.
So they're not going to rush to get a vaccine out and get us all vaccinated right away with this?
No. Chemical and radioactive waste that dates back to the Cold War, which has the potential to harm wildlife and disrupt ecosystems, may also be released during thaws. There's a lot going on with the permafrost that is of concern, and it really shows why it's super important that we keep as much of the permafrost frozen as possible, said Kimberly Miner, a climate scientist at the NASA Jet Propulsion Laboratory at the California Institute of Technology in Pasadena, California. Permafrost covers a fifth of the northern hemisphere, having underpinned the Arctic tundra and boreal forests of Alaska, Canada, and Russia for millennia. It serves as a kind of time capsule, preserving, in addition to ancient viruses, the mummified remains of a number of extinct animals that scientists have been able to unearth and study in recent years, including 2 cave lion cubs and a woolly rhino. Ooh, woolly rhino. You used to wrestle with him, didn't you? The reason permafrost is a good storage medium isn't just because it's cold. It's an oxygen-free environment that light doesn't penetrate. But current-day Arctic temperatures are warming up to 4 times faster than the rest of the planet, which is weakening the top layer of permafrost in the region. To better understand the risks posed by frozen viruses, Jean-Michel Clavier, oh God, I feel a little bit more French today.
I was going to say, listen to you. That one you nailed.
Jean-Michel Clavier, who is a emeritus professor of medicine in genomics at the All Marseille University School of Medicine in Marseille, France, has tested Earth samples taken from the Siberian permafrost to see whether any viral particles contained therein are still infectious. He is in search of what he describes as a zombie virus, and he has found some.
Why is he looking for it? You know what I mean? He's just looking for trouble.
He just wants to be a mark.
I think so. He wants to be patient zero.
Yeah. Clavier has studies a particular type of virus he first discovered in 2003. I can't read years this Wednesday for some reason. Known as giant viruses, they are much bigger than the typical variety and visible under a regular light microscope rather than a more powerful electron microscope, which makes then a good model for this type of lab work. His efforts to detect viruses frozen in permafrost were partly inspired by a team of Russian scientists who, in 2012 revived a wildflower from a 30,000-year-old seed tissue found in a squirrel's burrow. Since that's an odd place to be looking, but hey, we all have our kinks.
Why not?
Since then, scientists have also successfully brought ancient microscopic animals back to life. In 2014, this doesn't sound like good ideas, does it?
No, none of this does. No. Have they not seen Jurassic Park?
Evidently.
Or The Walking Dead?
No. In 2014, he managed to revive a virus he and his team isolated from the permafrost, making it infectious for the first time in 30,000 years by inserting it into cultured cells. For safety, he chose to study a virus that could only target single-celled amoebas, not animals or humans. So he was being somewhat safe with it.
That he thinks of. He doesn't know.
No. He specifically chose one that targeted single-cell amoebas.
Right, but like, how did he know that? You know what I mean? There's no warning manual, and these things are millions of years old.
Science.
Okay.
Science.
Gotcha.
That's how he knew. He repeated the feat in 2015, isolating a different type of virus that also targeted amoebas. In his latest research, published February 18th in the journal Viruses, which I get on 5:15 every morning on my doorstep, Clavier and his team isolated several strains of ancient viruses from multiple samples of permafrost taken from 7 different places across Siberia and showed that they could each infect cultured amoeba cells. Those latest strains represent 5 new families of viruses on top of the 2 he had revived previously. The oldest was almost 48,500 years old based on radiocarbon dating of the soil and came from a sample of earth taken from an underground lake 16 meters below the surface. The youngest samples found in the stomach contents and coat of a woolly mammoth's remains were 27,000 years old. That amoeba-infecting viruses are still infectious after so long is indicative of a potentially bigger problem, Clavier said. He fears people regard his research as a scientific curiosity and don't perceive the prospect of ancient viruses coming back to life as a serious public health threat. He said, "We view these amoeba-infecting viruses as surrogates for all other possible viruses that might be in the permafrost." So he's saying, watch out, because if this stuff melts, we could have a possible public health huge pandemic, like wiping out the population.
That's because guys like him are hanging out in the permafrost that's melting.
No. He's just saying that, if we continue to let the permafrost melt, if we don't reverse the trend, that this could happen.
Somebody give him the Illuminati's number because they have the climate control machine. According to that Canadian 94-year-old governor or defense guy.
According to Hellier, yeah.
Yeah.
He said, "We see the traces of many, many, many other viruses. So we know they are there. We don't know for sure that they are still alive. But our reasoning is that if the amoeba viruses are still alive, there's no reason why the other viruses will not still be alive and capable of infecting their own hosts." Now, to wrap this up in a nice tiny bow. Traces of viruses and bacteria that can infect humans have been found preserved in permafrost. So yes, they're still there.
Yeah.
A lung sample from a woman's body exhumed in 1997 from permafrost in a village on the Seward Peninsula of Alaska contained genomic material from the influenza strain responsible for the 1918 pandemic. So it's still there.
The scarlet fever, really?
Well, no, the 1918 pandemic, the influenza.
Yeah.
In 2012, scientists confirmed that the 300-year-old mummified remains of a woman buried in Siberia contain the genetic signatures of the virus that caused smallpox.
You know what? It makes sense, especially if those people passed away from that. It's not like it leaves your body. Your body's dead. There's no more immune system. It's just going to sit there.
Well, but it's been frozen, so it's been preserved.
Right.
So it hasn't died. It's just mainly gone to sleep.
The people died. They're buried in the permafrost, which freezes. So now all the bacteria and the viruses and stuff obviously freeze too.
Yeah.
So she had that flu when if she passed away from the flu, we don't know what she passed away from. But if she had that in her system when her body was frozen.
Well, we know why she died. She died of smallpox. And the smallpox were still inside the vessel and still alive. And it froze within the permafrost, and it was preserved.
Right.
So it was preserved within her vessel. Even though the vessel was dead, the smallpox were still alive.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Well, how would it be frozen? They were frozen.
It was frozen within the tissue.
Yeah.
And they managed to cut a piece of the tissue, and there it was.
Yeah.
An anthrax outbreak in Siberia that affected dozens of humans and more than 2,000 reindeer between July and August in 2016 has also been linked to the deeper thawing of the permafrost during exceptionally hot summers, allowing old spores of Bacillus anthracis to resurface from old burial grounds or animal carcasses. So yes, anthrax.
So they died from the anthrax. They were buried. They were frozen, which froze the active anthrax. Wow, that's scary.
Yeah, and came back to life when it was
thawed. So what this article is basically, what he's trying to warn us about is, hey, yeah, we got a hold on scarlet fever. Yeah, we got a hold on the influenza. Yeah, we got a hold on smallpox, but they're not gone. They're not eradicated from the face of the earth.
Right. It never is.
Yeah. And if we start thawing the permafrost, the risk is it could be something from cavemen days that we don't know about.
Exactly. You got it. Birgitta Evengard, Professor Emerita at, I believe it's Umeå University, Department of Clinical Microbiology in Sweden, said there should be better surveillance of the risk posed by potential pathogens in thawing permafrost, but warned against an alarmist approach. You must remember our immune defense has been developed in close contact with microbiological surroundings, said Evengard, who is part of the CLINF Nordic Center of Excellence, a group that investigates the effects of climate change on the prevalence of infectious diseases in humans and animals in northern regions. She said if there's a virus hidden in the permafrost that we have not been in contact with for thousands of years, it might be that our immune defense is not sufficient, she said. It is correct to have respect for the situation and be proactive and not just reactive. And the way to fight fear is to have knowledge. So we'll leave it at that.
Well, and of course our immune system's not going to be caught up because we haven't had to deal with this. And what did you say? The smallpox was ancient Egyptian times?
No. Smallpox was turn of the 20th century.
Okay,
so about 100 years.
Okay, so then in the 1918 influenza, we obviously,
but
the oldest person on the planet wasn't alive then,
But as far as smallpox go, now there have been some smallpox outbreaks because people refuse to get immunized.
Right.
So much like, and any scientist will tell you this, and this isn't me jumping on a soapbox. This is just what a scientist will tell you. If you refuse to immunize for certain childhood diseases, there is not a place on this planet, that a bacteria or virus can't hide.
Correct.
So you can go anywhere and get smallpox.
Right.
You can run into anything that will get you smallpox. A case of smallpox can break out anywhere in the world.
Right.
It doesn't mean it necessarily spreads. You can be treated for it.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean it breaks out into a pandemic.
When I was still living in Wisconsin, I think it was my daughter's freshman year of high school, they had a smallpox breakup. Yeah. Because the child was not immunized. They traveled out of country and they caught it there.
Yeah. So it can happen. It can happen because diseases don't necessarily die out. They can get down to almost zero levels, but there is still a strain somewhere.
Right.
So you just have to remember that. You just have to do what you can in order to keep that out of your community so it doesn't spread.
And keep in mind too, viruses are living things. They want to live.
Yeah.
They don't. They want to survive. So they're going to do what they can to survive.
That's right. So with that, let us move on to let's talk a little bit about the dead still, and let's talk about a burial ritual that was found in a Rome-era tomb, which was scattered with magical dead nails and sealed off to shield the living from the restless dead. Speaking of zombies.
The Restless Dead. That's a cool album name.
It is, yeah. A 2,000-year-old tomb discovered in Turkey was sprinkled with dead nails and sealed off with bricks and plaster, likely to shield the living from the dead. That's a little creepy. In ancient Roman times, people may have feared the restless dead, according to the discovery of a cremation tomb sprinkled with intentionally bent nails and sealed not only with 24 bricks, but also a layer of plaster. This, according to a new study. The unusual grave found at the site of Sagalassos in southwestern Turkey and dating to AD 100 through 150 had 41 bent and twisted nails scattered along the edges of its cremation pyre, 24 bricks that had been meticulously placed on the still smoldering pyre, and a layer of lime plaster on top of that. The individual, an adult male, was cremated and buried in the same place, an unusual practice in Roman times, according to the study, which was published February 21st in the journal Antiquity. The burial was closed off with not one, not two, but 3 different ways that can be understood as attempts to shield the living from the dead, or the other way around. Study first author Johann Claes, an archaeologist at Catholic University Leuven, which is KU Leuven in Belgium, told Live Science in an email. Although each of the practices is known for Roman-era cemeteries, which is cremation in place, covering of tiles or plaster, and the occasional bent nail, the combination of the 3 has not been seen before and implies a fear of the restless dead, he said. The archaeological site of Sagalassos was occupied from the 5th century BC to the 13th century AD and boasts numerous examples of Roman-era architecture, including a heater and bath complex. Following its abandonment, vegetation quickly overgrew the city, preserving it. As part of the Sagalassos Archaeological Research Project, burials in the outskirts of the town were excavated and studied, including the non-normative cremation. Typically, Roman-era cremations involved a funeral pyre followed by the collection of the cremains, which were put in an urn and then buried in the grave or placed in a mausoleum. The Sagalassos cremation, however, was performed in place, which the researchers could tell from the anatomical positioning of the remaining bones. Even more unusual was the contrast between the grave goods and the closure of the tomb. The archaeologists discovered typical funeral items, fragments of a woven basket, remains of food, a coin, and ceramic and glass vessels. It seems clear that the deceased was buried with all the appropriate aplomb, Clay said. It seems likely that this was a suitable way of parting with a loved one at the time. Marco Milella, a research fellow in the Institute of Forensic Medicine at the University of Bern in Switzerland, who was not involved in the study, told Live Science in an email that I tend to agree with their conclusion about the bent nails, which Milella said are frequently found in Western Europe cemeteries dating to the 1st and 2nd centuries AD. The sealing of the remains is also interesting and tantalizing given its possible association with the deposition of nails. He also noted fear of the dead is a possibility, as well as amulets to protect the dead, or both perhaps. Claes thinks the man in this strange cremation grave was likely buried by his next of kin in a ceremony that would have taken days to prepare and carry out. A set of beliefs that encouraged people at Sagalassos to bury this man in an unconventional way are best understood as a form of magic or an act intended to have specific effects because of a supernatural connection. It is possible that his odd burial was made to counteract an unusual or unnatural death. However, these researchers found no evidence of trauma or disease on the bones. Unfortunately, even though the magical cremation overlaps in time with other graves, Clay said that it cannot be established with certainty whether or not family members were buried nearby, as DNA is usually destroyed by high temperatures in ancient cremains. Regardless of whether the cause of the man's death was traumatic, mysterious, or potentially the result of a contagious illness or punishment, the researchers concluded in the study it appears to have left the living fearful of the deceased's return. How's that for creepy?
I love when you bring up old burial stories because you get to see just the different theories and legends and stuff of back in the day. You know, like, remember when they used to put iron rods in the graves because the iron would keep the spirit in the grave, and the bent nails. And then we have one where it was like a vampire grave where it was like the trap on the mouth. Like it's just so cool to see the beliefs they had back then, you know?
Yeah. Oh, most definitely. Yeah. That's creepy indeed. Even more creepy. You know, we talk sometimes about how a Ouija board is just a tool to the other side and its intent.
Yes.
But what happens when that intent goes awry, or when everybody in the group has mass hysteria?
Okay.
And what, Bruiser, if that group is 28 people?
28 all having the same experience, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm curious about this story.
And if that mass feeling is anxiety.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go for it. 28 girls are hospitalized with anxiety after playing with a Ouija board. Got to thank our friend Tom for this story.
Now, I know you're going to read the story, but I'm wondering, is that one spirit that caused that, or could it be multiple spirits?
But we're about to find out.
I know. That's just what's the forefront of my head is like, okay, what, you know?
The story starts out by saying they're not in good spirits.
Good pun. I
always hate these puns. I don't know why they write them, but I know why they write them. But it is what it is. Nearly 30 schoolgirls have been hospitalized with anxiety attacks after allegedly playing with Ouija boards at their school in Colombia. There were 28 possible cases of anxiety in school students, said Hugo Torres, head of the Galeras Educational Institution in Galeras, where the incident took place. According to the outlet, Jam Press, who reported on the story, alarm bells went off after the girls reportedly suffered signs of fainting, anxiety, and other symptoms at school. They were subsequently admitted to a municipal hospital, accompanied by parents and school faculty. Info on the students' diagnoses has yet to be released. However, many parents blame the in-school use of Ouija boards, a Jumanji-esque pursuit that uses a sliding pointer to spell out messages in a mysterious way. Created in the U.S. in 1886, Ouija boards have become a fixture in occult lore due to their alleged ability to communicate with the dead.
Why is the school using Ouija boards?
I suppose it might have just been an experiment. Let's see.
Like, go back to the abacus.
It says, I work here in a hospital kiosk, and every day I see 3 or 4 children arrive after fainting, exclaimed one mother. Parents, you have to move. Investigate what's happening at school because our children cannot continue in this situation. She added, our children always have a good breakfast, and it cannot be said that's what's happening is due to lack of food. I don't know where breakfast and lack of food end up with a Ouija board, but let's find out. However, Torres has since accused community members of stoking hysteria by spreading unfounded rumors. Given the reported cases, a series of comments were unleashed on the community that, rather than helping to resolve the situation, led to confusion and an adverse environment for our work, he said. The school is waiting for the medical diagnoses to provide further reliable information, explained Torres, who implored the community to avoid making early judgments and diagnoses of their own in the interim. It is unclear when the school plans to update the public on the student's condition, while authorities have not confirmed whether a police investigation is underway. It still doesn't say why the students were playing with Ouija boards.
I was going to say, the investigation should be, why is the school giving all these kids Ouija boards? What possible class is that for?
I don't know. No idea. Maybe they have a spirituality study. I have no idea. In that school. But 28 girls in the hospital because of anxiety.
Yeah, which you could probably trace back to the Ouija boards.
That's my
Especially
guess.
If they're doing it in that school. What's wrong with that school? Like, what is haunting that school?
I don't know. It's bizarre. I know that much. It's all very, very, very bizarre. I don't know what to tell you. I just don't.
There better be a follow-up of why there was a Ouija board in that school. Ouija boards.
Ouija boards, plural. I mean, that's a lot of Ouija boards.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you're sitting in groups, like groups of 4, that's 7 boards.
Yeah. That's just mind-blowing.
Yeah, mind-blowing indeed. We have a story here about two monsters that were, I believe, were found in Loch Ness. Let me read the story here. Two monsters allegedly were seen swimming together in a video in Loch Ness. The story of the Loch Ness monster is said to date back to 565, when the Irish monk and missionary Columba was said to have saved the Picts from a mysterious creature living in the River Ness. The modern stories of the monster, who came to be known as Nessie, began in 1933 with an article in the Inverness Courier about a beast or whale-like fish in the loch. Famous surgeon's photograph of a long-necked creature published in the Daily Mail in 1934 made the Loch Ness monster an international sensation, where it remains despite the fact that the photo was admittedly a hoax. On one thing, these stories, photos, radar images, and virtually all the other Loch Ness monster sightings have in common is that they show one and only one creature. How has a single creature survived in Loch Ness for centuries? Is it immortal? Where are the rest of them? Is the question. Someone who may have had an answer, or at least has changed the thinking about the Loch Ness monster. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Is it?
Let's just call him Paul.
We'll call him Paul. O'Fadigan, I believe, is his last name. Is it Ian O'Fadigan? Ian O'Fadigan?
Ian sounds good.
It might be Ian O'Fadigan. A Nessie hunter who I'm ashamed to say I don't know how to pronounce his name. It's written funny. We'll just put it that way. He ain't American. A Nessie hunter whose many sightings have all come via 24/7 webcams pointed at the loch, which he watches from his home in Ireland. O'Fadigan recently reported the first belated sighting of the creature in 2023, a disturbance and wake on the surface of the loch that his experienced eye deemed too big and agitated to be a fish. While waiting for that sighting to be approved by the official Loch Ness Monster Sighting Register, O'Fadigan kept looking at the webcam feeds and spotted something that just might change everything. Footage that appears to show two creatures in the water at the same time and moving in opposite directions. Could they be friends, lovers, parents, and child? Well, or it could be something else. Are they onto us? My reaction was that I couldn't believe what I was viewing, and it all happened so fast. In the first clip, something moves on the surface for a couple of seconds. Then you see two shadowy wakes moving in two lines under the surface. Probably moves left like this for about 15 feet, then it's gone. This is O'Fadigan's description as told in the Mirror of what he saw in a video on the loch in February 23rd of 2023. Well, he notes that he and those who viewed the video, you can see it for yourself in the article. I guess I'll post this article as well.
Yeah, we got 3 of them now.
Although, this is in mysteryuniverse.com, and if you've run over your article limit, you won't see it.
Okay.
You have to have a subscription. So I'm debating whether I should post this.
Maybe not. I mean, you know what? Maybe, because maybe somebody wants to get a subscription to it. Who knows?
All right, I'll post it. He instead refers to it as it when describing the direction it moves before disappearing. He says, you may not see a body, but there's definite movement in the water that cannot be explained by natural occurrences, but nobody will ever know what the true size is hidden under the water to cause such a wake in the first place. Something is causing these wakes that we are not seeing. Again, O'Fadigan seems to be referring to one creature in the February 23rd video. That sighting has not been approved by the official Loch Ness Monster Sightings Register because those actually traveling to the loch and making a concerted effort and time commitment to look for Nessie are tired of O'Fadigan and others getting credit for wakes on videos. Ooh,
because they're not leaving their house. They're mad at him.
Yeah. As a result, although he lays claims to the first Loch Ness Monster sighting of 2023, it's not official. While he awaits word from the register, O'Fadigan continues to scan the cams for more things that look like a creature. On March 1st, he hit pay dirt. It is obvious that the two Nessie-like humps are moving over a 2-minute period, and the larger hump of the two has changed position from the smaller one. Given the fact that there's no disturbance of water visible between objects, you would have to concur that they are two separate moving creatures. What O'Fadigan claims he saw in the March 1st webcam feed is a long, dark object beneath the surface whose shadowing image he estimated to be up to 30 feet long. As he continued to watch the feed, he claims that an hour later he saw two humps. I keep wanting to sing my humps, my lovely lady humps.
I did the same thing in my head.
He saw two humps surface near what he saw, or where he saw the wake. He says they are moving apart during the 2-minute clip, and that the lack of anything in the water between them convinced him that these are two creatures or objects and not the multi-hump neck and body often seen in other photos or videos. Interesting. It's interesting stuff. I tell you what, we'll post that one as well. If you've gone to your limit with Mysterious Universe, you're probably not going to see it unless you sign up. But if you haven't gone your limit on Mysterious Universe, you'll be able to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. 2 more stories left here on Supernatural News today. A naked man in Palm Beach. We covered this one yesterday on Dumb Crime, Stupid Criminals, but I have to cover the time travel part of this and different universes. We're into different universes and time travel now here at the end of the show.
This is the Earth 2 guy, huh?
Yes, the alternate Earth guy.
Yep.
A naked man in Palm Beach says he's from a different Earth, Bruiser. And we go to Palm Beach, Florida. Of course, we're going to Florida because the meth is good there and the sun is shining in this long, long winter. A man is accused of walking down the street naked in Palm Beach. He told police he's from a different Earth. Police arrested 44-year-old Jason Smith on charges of indecent exposure, disorderly conduct, and resisting arrest. The ordeal began when an employee from Taboo called police on Wednesday to say a naked man had just walked past the restaurant on Worth Avenue in view of a number of customers. Well, you know,
look, dinner and a show.
Yeah, exactly. If you got it, flaunt it. When police arrived, bystanders quickly pointed out the man to the officers. And why wouldn't they? Because there he is. And he's the only naked man on the boardwalk.
And how could the officers not know there's only one naked man there?
That's right.
Why do they have to point him out?
He's the target. Smith told police he didn't know where he left his clothes. Police said he refused to give his name or date of birth. He said, everything's on my birth certificate, officer, but it's not on me. Officers took him.
He didn't keep that anywhere, huh?
No. Well, there's one place he could keep it, but, It's a little hard to reach. Officers took him to police headquarters for questioning. Police said he continued to refuse to give his name. After giving a name, the man told police he didn't have a social security number or an ID card unless you really, really wanted to search for it. According to the arrest report, Smith told police that he resided on a different Earth. He later told police he lived in West Palm Beach, but he didn't qualify which Earth that the West Palm Beach was on.
Right. It could be on Earth X. Yeah,
Earth X or Earth 616 or Earth 852 or whatever Earth he's on.
Yeah.
He lives in West Palm Beach.
Right.
Yeah. Smith remains at the Palm Beach County Jail.
And everyone knows in time travel, you have to be naked.
Well, yeah, you can't just go through with your clothes on. You'll burn up.
Yeah. Yeah. Like if we learned anything from Terminator, only living tissue can go through.
That's right. It isn't that way with Quantum Leap, though.
That's true. Well, no, we don't know if he's naked or not because he leaps in other people's bodies.
Yeah.
And they're already dressed.
Yeah. So why does he got to be naked?
Well, we don't know if he's naked. The Quantum Leap guy's naked because he's leaping into people that are dressed.
See?
We don't know if he leaps home if he's butt naked.
So is his argument here, well, I just leaped into this body and it was naked?
No. Well, yeah, this guy.
And I'm just walking around? Walking around singing a song?
I'm not from around here. I leaped in and now I'm naked. I thought this was your custom.
I do not know your strange customs. They're not that way on my world. Oh, ridiculous. Okay, so our last story, again, having to do with time travel.
Okay.
Another time traveler. This isn't the alternate dimension or alternate Earth, I don't think. I think he's from our Earth, but just forward in time.
Okay.
If I'm confusing you, then stop me. Time traveler from 2671 2671 reveals dateline of a world-altering event or events coming in 2023.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we're screwing up our universe right now.
Oh, of course we are.
Yeah.
They all say that.
This guy's got an interesting name. Eno Alaric said there will be major scientific discoveries made after 8,000 people get chosen by an alien to save the planet.
Oh, how do we get on that list?
I don't know. He also claimed on TikTok, of course he used TikTok.
Well, yeah, that's the future.
Yeah, that's a major way to announce that stuff's going down. That there will be a major tsunami and earthquake.
Which could possibly happen.
Of course, before the year's over, there's going to be a major tsunami and earthquake.
Yeah.
A man who claims to be a time traveler from 2671 has released a list of events that he believes will happen this year. Eno Alaric claims that there will be a major scientific discovery or discoveries made after 8,000 people get chosen by an alien to save the planet. How do we know who the alien is?
Yeah, and like I said, how do we get on that mailing list?
Yeah. I mean, what if it's one of the flowing, long, blonde-haired aliens and, what if it's not a gray or a
I was say he's not specifying intergalactic alien. It could literally be someone from Sweden coming to America illegally.
True.
Yeah. Just saying, just putting it out there.
Yeah, you're right. It's very generic. The social media user known on TikTok as @TheRadiantTimeTraveler. You can look him up on TikTok if you'd like. Also claims a tsunami could hit California. Oh, he's a specific on that one. I don't know why I went. I don't know why
Italian now. Huh?
I don't know why Mario hit me there, but he did. By the way, I found it. I'm going on a OCD tangent here. I don't know why I found it very, very funny, but when what's his face from The Mandalorian hosted SNL?
Pascal.
Pedro Pascal.
Pedro, yeah.
Okay, so when he hosted SNL, he did the spoof of Mario, the movie on HBO. I kid you not. I saw a trailer for the Super Mario Brothers movie this weekend.
Oh yeah, it's coming.
And I laughed my silly ass off.
Yeah, it looks great.
Because all I could think of is Pedro Pascal going, "It's a me. It's a Mario." And I couldn't take it seriously. I laughed through the entire trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I just want to see Pedro Pascal in the HBO Max movie of Mario.
I just thought it was great that on March 10th is when they released the trailer.
Yeah.
Mario Day.
Mario Day. Yeah. Okay, I digress. So a tsunami could hit California, causing a large number of casualties. This is the first thing he's saying during 2023. The self-proclaimed time traveler mentioned that there might be some huge scientific discoveries, including scientists finding a way to use stem cells to grow replacement organs.
Okay, so this is where I get bugged. He's using terms like there might be.
Yeah.
There could be. If you're from the future and this happens, it should be this will happen.
Yeah, commit to the bit.
Yeah. But he's using selective phrases so that way if it doesn't happen, he'll be like, "Oh, you altered history."
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Well, you could change the timeline.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But if Terminator taught us anything, fate can't be changed.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah.
Look at you Cameron head.
We didn't have any AI stories, so I got the Terminator stuff in there.
Well, the AI stuff is slowing down a little bit, and I wanted to give it a little bit of a break. Okay. I didn't want us to be the AI show. Somebody made a comment the other day, and I don't want to say it bugged me, but I was like, you know what? Yeah, you're right.
I'm fine with taking a break with AI, but
yeah,
finding fake time travelers.
Well,
commit, man, commit.
Yeah, commit to the bit, right? The creator, who has gained over 26,000 followers, he's got 26,000 followers. You know what? I'm going to go on and make up some fake time travel shit on the Darkness Radio show.
Do it.
TikTok. This is what I'm going to do.
I'm going to start throwing that in there too. So between the fake time travel stuff and my dogs, I'm going to be a social media sensation.
Let's do it. We're you come up with a fake time traveler name. I'll come up with one.
Okay.
But I'm going to wear like a Swami wrap on my head. Maybe I should do the fake psychic. You do the fake time traveler. No,
Okay,
no, wait.
Perfect.
No, I wouldn't do the fake psychic. What should I do? I'll figure it out.
Okay.
You do the fake time traveler.
Yeah, I will be Milo Sprayovich.
Milo Sprayovich, the fake time traveler. Okay, and you give us a couple of things that'll happen this year that'll change the course of history.
All right.
Okay. The creator, who has gained over 26,000 followers for posting warnings about supposed future events, said in his latest video, "Attention to anyone who believes I am a fake time traveler. Remember these major events in the rest of 2023. Okay, he said on May 15th. He's calling it. He's calling a shot.
Okay, so he is calling a shot. Okay.
May 15th, 2023, 750 feet mega tsunami hit San Francisco, California, over 200,000 casualties.
Okay, May 15th. Gotcha.
Oh, he pointed for the fence, son.
Yeah, he did. He called a shot.
Yep, May 15th.
I cannot wait for May 16th to see how this guy's backtracking.
That's right. Are you ready for this? He calls another shot. You ready for this?
All right. Yep.
Okay. He claims, so the date today is the 15th of March. He's claiming on the 23rd, 8,000 people are chosen to save humanity by an alien known as the Champion.
Okay, well, that we're not going to know, though, unless those 8,000 people announce they're chosen by the Champion.
That's right. So Floyd Mayweather is going to come out. He's going to pick 8,000 people. Right. He's like, "You're the champion." Or it's going to be Mike Tyson. "You're the champion. You're the champion. You're the champion. You're all going to be part of my team. Here's some weed. Take this weed and smoke it."
It's shaped like ears. Eat the edibles.
Yeah. Ric Flair's with me, too. Woo.
Final.
We're all going to smoke some weed. We're going to eat some edibles. We're going to save the planet.
All right, everyone get in line right here. What are we in line for, Mike? You got to get your face tattooed. Get a really bad facial tattoo. That'd be great.
Here's the thing. You're going to get a pitchfork, and you're going to get a circle, and you're going to get my new weed line on your face.
We're going to save humanity.
Yeah.
I'm the champion.
We're all champions. June 18th, he's calling his shot again. 7 people randomly fall from the sky to their passing while nothing was even there.
Okay.
I don't know what that...
They just appeared and fall?
I don't know what that has to do with the price of tea in China, but yeah. August 12th. Man, son, he's just laying them out.
Is this the same guy that said November 30th we're going to find another Earth last year?
I don't know. It might be. He's just dealing them out like blackjack cards. You ready?
Yeah.
August 12th. Scientists create a cure for lung and skin cancer using a pituitary gland from a squirrel. No, he's just making shit up.
Yeah. He probably saw a squirrel and he probably ate a bunch of Mike Tyson edibles and went, "Yeah, we're going to dissect you and
guys,
cure
guess
cancer."
What? We did it. We did it. We cured lung and skin cancer with the pituitary gland from a squirrel. And all it took is I had to reach down his little throat and yank it out.
I was just walking home from the gym one day and I saw this little squirrel and I thought, "Man, use that pituitary gland."
It was beautiful. He opened his little mouth and I said, "Hold still, little guy." And pop, I took it away from him.
And the squirrel said to me, "Please save humanity, please."
Yeah, and I told this other guy who had cancer, I said, "Swallow this."
Boom, cancer, just gone, just gone.
Gone. December 3rd, 2023. You ready for this?
Yep.
He's calling his shots, man.
It's a new Christmas.
He's a baller and a shot caller. December 3rd, 2023. Large crystal is discovered deep in the Amazon, having the power to heal all ailments and injuries.
Oh. So cancer's gone. Injuries are gone.
That bitch better come to my house because I got a lot of shit to heal.
How do we get on that team?
That's right.
We could be walking like, "Hey, this stuff works. Look."
Yeah.
We'll do a live remote from there if they want us to.
That's right. December 29th, scientists find a way to use stem cells to grow replacement organs and new kinds of organs.
Yeah, but we don't need that now because we have the crystal, so we should be fine.
Well, no, that's to heal the ailments and injuries, but you got to regrow the organs.
So if I cut my arm off,
yeah, or
the crystal make me feel better, but the scientists, they're going to regrow it.
Yeah, they're going to regrow your organs. So, or, replacement organs or new kinds of organs, or even amputations, I got to guess. So,
yeah.
So you got to have that. So, man, this guy's thinking of everything.
He is. He literally covered the whole gambit. Aliens, crystal skull stuff, like everything.
Yeah. TikTok viewers were left divided over the clip as they didn't know whether they should believe it or not. As one user wrote, "Oh, what an exciting year." Another argued a real-time traveler would know that just informing us of things that happened in the future changes the timeline, therefore creating a new future. One more person wrote, "I want to be among the 8,000. A TikTok user joked, "What's the next thing? Winning lotto numbers?" But another commented, "I wrote down the last set. You failed at all of them." Oh, Mr. Negativity.
Look at this party pooper.
Yeah. I think I have that right here. There you go.
Our time travel is now hitting the block button on certain TikTok users.
Yeah. Wait, let me read that last line again. Another commented, "I wrote down the last set. You failed at all of them." There, that goes.
Perfect.
There you go. So that's supernatural news. Yeah. We ended on a high note. Hope for humanity, shit on by one TikToker. I wrote down the last one. You failed at all of them. That's why the aliens won't come visit us.
Hey, who invited this guy to the party?
Yeah, exactly. Aliens, really? What are you going to do? Heal all of us? Guess what? You failed miserably. Yeah. Bruiser, what you got planned for the weekend?
Oh, well, Sunday I'm in Asheville, North Carolina for Underground Championship Wrestling at a brewery. Very excited.
How are you even going to get to the ring?
I have no idea. I haven't figured that out yet. I'm looking forward to drinking some local beer.
Are they giving you a per diem before the match or after?
After.
I should have followed that up with one of those. After, huh? They don't let you near the bar before?
Oh, I'm going to be in the bar before. It's just after is when I get to really tie it on.
Yeah, I see.
Then that's when I'll make my Milo Sprayovich time traveling prediction.
You'll be there with a Swami wrap on your head. Guess what?
No, I was thinking I'm going to get I don't know. I got to find something futuristic to wear.
Guess what? Bruiser won't be wrestling tonight, but Milo Sprayovich will be in the ring giving you predictions for the future. the wrestling time traveler.
That's right.
You got a second career ahead of you.
I do. I just travel all over the place.
That's right. You're about to lock up and you go, wait a minute. Prediction. December 18th, 2023. You're going to shit your trunks. The worst time traveling predictor ever. / wrestler.
That's what I'm going to do too, is make them just horrible. Like, okay, on July 17th, 2023, all spaghetti noodles vanish. No more spaghetti for you folks. Sorry. It's gone. And on September 10th, 2023, an uprising will happen and all Denny's restaurants will be closed.
Can't wait. I'll pay, the $15-20 to go see that. I'll get VIP.
Oh, just wait till October 17th, 2023, when the restaurant wars wage on as Wendy's makes its first strike at Wendy's. Or McDonald's makes its first strike. McDonald's makes their first strike at Wendy's. Followed by a worldwide war. That just puts to shame all the other wars that we've had.
That didn't even make sense. And Wendy's makes a strike at Wendy's.
I meant McDonald's at Wendy's.
It's called fast food cannibalism.
Dave Thomas makes his return.
Oh, God, no. Zombie Dave Thomas. I think you need a nap. Tomorrow on the show, paranormal investigator Joe Vitale will be with us as we talk about one of the movies that he is in. It's called The Harrisville Haunting, The Real Conjuring House. The premise behind this movie is that himself, the director, Matt Benton, and two other paranormal investigators go into what you know is the Conjuring House. It's actually known as the Harrisville Farmhouse, and the inspiration for that movie, The Conjuring. And they check out the house. And the question here is it exactly the extreme haunting that it claims to be? So they're going to share their incredible findings and evidence in this movie. The movie is actually available right now if you want to watch it before the program on Tubi. And I believe it's available for free elsewhere as well. I know that you can watch it on Amazon Prime. That's how I plan on watching it. It's also available on Vudu. You can rent or buy it on Vudu. So Amazon Prime Vudu. It's available for free on Tubi as well. Watch it before you tune into the show tomorrow, if you can, and follow along with us on the program tomorrow. And we'll talk all about the Harrisville Haunting, otherwise known as the Real Conjuring House. That's Joe Vitale tomorrow on Darkness Radio. And we got some surprises coming up for you in the next few weeks here on Darkness Radio. So, yeah. So that's coming up tomorrow. Myself, I got some nothing. Whole lot of nothing going on this weekend. I think I'm just gonna,
whole lot of nothing, huh?
Whole lot of nothing. I'm going to tinker around with the fondue set. I'm going to see if I can put a fountain in.
Oh, okay.
This weekend. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to see if I can spray blood 20 feet in the air. I got nothing better to do. No, I got working on some exciting stuff for the show. So that's what I'm doing for this weekend. I hope you have a good weekend as well, folks. Again, Becky Ann Galentine on tomorrow, right here on Darkness Radio. For Beer City Bruiser, I'm Tim Dennis. Thank you so much again, folks, for continuing to follow us here in our antics and shenanigans on Supernatural News. We hope you continue to stay with us and enjoy the program. Again, we want to air your Supernatural News Parashare stories. If you have a story or an experience that you've had with the supernatural, we want to air it right here on Supernatural News. You can email me, tim@darknessradio.com, or go to darknessradioshow.com, and you can press that little blue button. Leave us a 2-minute voice note. If you need more time, just press the blue button again and add another 2 minutes. I'll stitch it together and put it on the air here. And if you'd like, we can weigh in on it. If not, we'll just air the story, and we'll put it right here on Darkness Radio. So you can share your story in voice note form with the entire Darkness Radio audience. We want to hear your personal experiences. Also, we want to mention before we leave you today that we have opened up the chat room on the Darkness Radio Facebook page. And
yes, we have.
We've built a little community over there. We want you to join that community over there, get to know your fellow Darkness Radio listeners, and just say hi. Say hi, share your experiences with your fellow Darkness Radio listeners over there, and just get to know each other. Again, no political talk, no abrasive talk, no bullying. No,
it's a safe place to have a conversation about something we all have in common.
That's right, the paranormal. So head on over there to the Darkness Radio Facebook page and get to know each other. We encourage you to do that. Myself, Bruiser drops in. I believe Mally will drop in. And we'll just say hey to you. We'll drop in on occasion. We'll say hey. We'll maybe even do a Q&A here very soon. And just get to say hi. That's what we do. We drop in and say hi, get to know each other. We want to drum up a little bit of a community there. So let's do that. Let's see. I think that's it. That's it for this week. All right. For Beer City Bruiser, I'm Tim Dennis. Thank you so much for joining us right here on the best in paranormal programming. This has been Darkness Radio.